Well, here's another live video because I'm just too lazy to record and then upload. So, tribalism will never disappear. And here's a couple reasons why. One of the most basic things, I can say this from personal experience, is that as you get older, you rely on systems to take care of you. This can also be required when you're younger. So, regardless of what a system does to others or to people that are considered dissidents, the system, the tribe, takes care of you. So, those people feel a loyalty to that. Another reason is because the idea that, oh, we can all get along, I'm a world citizen, all that sort of thing is nonsense. Shao Fei Hua. It's Shao Fei Hua, as the Chinese say. How's it going, Temujin? How is it going, American Dissident? How are y'all doing? You got the bloomer there. I like that. I'm glad you have the bloomer, Avi. That's good. Um, yeah, tribalism to me is never going to disappear. Let me tell you that right now. There are going to be different versions of tribalism, not in the same way as blood wise or racial wise, but I think it will occur. I think it will occur. I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. But to me, tribalism is not going to go away. Um, that's the basis to me of nationalism. It's like I say, there's a lot of lefties who kind of go with this back and forth type of thing of, well, American nationalism is bad because it promotes white nationalism. And we saw what Hitler did. And we saw that, Hitler was influenced by America. America influenced Hitler. Um, but then when it comes to especially the ML types, but it's like, well, Vietnam, this and that. It's a very how's it going, Roy Deluc Deluc? How are you? Roy Deluc. But to me, it's like they still want it to be Vietnamese. I don't know why I use Vietnam as an example, but I think it's just kind of one of those things where it's like lefties have this very schizo belief. I mean, right wingers do too. Don't get me wrong. And they spurg about various things where they'll sometimes play libertarian, sometimes they'll play authoritarian. But the same time thing with lefties, where they'll be like, "Oh, climate change is awful, this and that," you know. But it's okay to travel. It's like, why is it okay to travel? I mean, I'm not inherently against traveling. I'll put it that way. But when, like I say, if you're in the United States and you go to China or you go to Russia and you somehow try to push your beliefs onto those countries, or those people in those countries, they're going to be like, no, fuck off. You know, it's the same type of thing that Americans, in particular, like neocons and neolibs, think that oh, the DPRK is so awful. Oh, this and that. Well, I think ultimately Juche can be simplified into a basic Korean nationalism to say, to reunify Korea, although there are problems with that. But I think that that's the basis of it. And, I try not to use this term very much, but I'll say it here. The bug man who simply goes from country to country does not see culture that way. They see it as something to make money on. They see it as something to take advantage of, to make jokes of. They don't see it as something that's inherent to people, you know? For example, in Asian cultures, Buddhism, I go back and forth on Buddhism, but, Buddhism is fairly strong, depending on where you go. Now, of course, Islam is also strong. It's like you go to the Philippines, for example, yeah, you will have that. And you go to, I can't remember, other nations, but Islam, particularly, of course, Sunni Islam, is very strong. That's also an aspect of it. Now, the reason I say this is because I see all this cope. I see all this immense cope about and I made the video, the other stream earlier about Lindsay Ellis quitting YouTube and all this cope of my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. It's insane to me. The entire thing started over a film that barely made a profit and people forgot it in a week. It's like reverse Ghostbusters. You know, I think people got comfortable laying into celebrities on social media. But the thing is, though, this is false. Yeah, Buddhism is weird. I almost wouldn't even classify it as a religion. Yeah, it is. It's very weird. It is. I agree. It is weird. And Americans make it even weirder. Um, so yeah, just as I steer clear of Islam. I'm going to try to steer clear of Buddhism because it's very. I'm already sinking. I'm already, it's already up to my chin right now of water, and I'm just like, I'm about to drown, so I won't. But I just think it's ridiculous when you see this sort of shit. Here's another one. Let me see if I can find a good one. This is kind of a long, but I'll read it to you. I think people got comfortable laying into celebrities on social media. However, the idea of celebrity has gotten skewed. For instance, Justin Bieber can have the negative messages flooded out by the support he gets in as he is incredibly famous, and he might not even look at his own social media. Instead, having a team stare at the negativity for him. In comparison, Lindsay Ellis is more or less an everyday person, and the negativity can easily drown out the positivity. Yeah, yeah, Justin Bieber doesn't run his social media anymore. That's why he can avoid that to some extent. Yeah. The thing is, though, is one of the biggest things you have to say is kind of a screw you. And I said this before, and she wrote it even in her Patreon uh, thing, uh, where she says is that I'm not sure if I can pay the health insurance I have for the 8 employees I have. I haven't told them yet. You know, I can't really tell them that I'm leaving. I'm going to stop making videos because Twitter makes me sad, and it's just like, oh, this is what, like I said, this is the whole democratic socialist type thing, right? Where it's like, yeah, we respect workers and all that. But if somebody that we see as an ally, somebody that we see as a friend, in your fake tribalism, this is fake tribalism. And this is what I'm going to try to do of showing what fake tribalism is and what real tribalism is. This sort of fake tribalism of somebody like Lindsay Ellis who does not give a fuck about you. I'll say that right now. She doesn't give a fuck about you. She said dumb shit and whatever. Like I say, maybe I'm sound like a woke skull, but I don't care. I just think it's ridiculous. It's just like this person didn't care that she's not going to be able to pay 8 people to edit her bullshit videos. It's like nobody gives a shit. Online abuse is rampant. I hope she comes back. I'm going to buy her books on solidarity. See, this is the whole thing. Nobody hates they don't hate capitalism. They just don't like the people that are in it right now. This is a common complaint that people say about capitalism now that it supports gay rights and whatnot. If it was more trad, people would like it. Like I said, I heard that from that Welsh guy who doesn't make videos anymore. But yeah, let me see here. I'm sad. Someone I've been friends with all my life recently asked me how I went from a submissive conservative Christian girl in my youth to a vocal lefty critical woman now. And when I had to think how it happened, I realized it was Lindsay. She taught me how to think critically, and her presenting as a powerful but soft person helped me see how I could be. She's the best, and I wish her all the happiness in the world. Gag me. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. Not just dem sucks. Many self-proclaimed MLs do this too. This is why I don't care for MLs anymore. Absolutely. These are folks that, like I say, they'll talk about capitalism so bad, capitalism so evil, and then they will be It's literally the meme of just like, "Fuck off, I don't like that," or whatever. They show you Elon Musk, "Fuck off, I don't like that, I don't care about that book." And then they show you, like, a picture of Lindsay Ellis's book or whatever, her future book, and they're just smiling ear to ear, just like, it's ridiculous. You don't actually hate capitalism, you just don't like the people that are running it right now. And that's not even me supporting capitalism, that's just me saying it's like, you're falling into the trap, you know? There are people who unironically calling her a Scrooge level more quitting while people work for her, like, what do you want her to do? This is one of the few countries this is a problem. It's not her fault really that her options are to subject herself to abuse that support her workers or quit. This is literally like defending a boss that you like, isn't it? Oh my good, like, what do you want her to do? She's upset, whatever. It's a girl boss, bro. She's literally a girl boss. But these people are so far into it because like, oh, she made good videos and whatnot, and they've let that blind you. They let this blind them, and this is what I will call fake tribalism. Absolutely fake tribalism. I still wouldn't want them in power because they're a minority in their group. Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a reason. I'm going to say the Bolsheviks. And of course, like I say, ultimately the Bolsheviks were a minority within the larger uh, party. I mean, that's the whole thing of the Russian Social Democratic Party. Bolsheviks were a minority, and the Mensheviks, ironically, were the majority. But ultimately, the Bolsheviks won out because Yuli Martov left and went to Germany. Yeah, your dreams online. Oh yeah, exactly. Vom Red. I don't know if that's spam, but I'll just live with it. That's okay. I don't speak Russian, so yeah. Sorry. I could. I could do a little I could do a little bit of you know. Well, I'll just sing it. Yeah. Здравствуйте, яблони и груши. But I do that enough. I just have that one memorized, so it's easier. But what's real tribalism? I know I'm schizoing you. I'm like, damn. Well, let's go for it. So, what's real tribalism? What's real tribalism? Real tribalism is, I would say, much more of a let's take care of the family. If someone is having trouble, we're going to pay for them to get stuff, to handle their bills and stuff like that. That's real tribalism. Showing that, it's not necessarily about, how impactful they are, how witty they are, this and that, but if they're there for you. Because me being there for somebody when they need help, that's far more important than whatever witty comments you say when you're doing good. It's like one of those. It's like the classic meme of, if you don't like me at my worst, you don't need to be around me at my best. It's like when someone's wasted or they've taken drugs or something like that, but they take care of them exactly. Tribalism is when you have a big club and you go mammoth hunting. Yeah, that too, and people do that. I don't say another example, although not the greatest one, but I'll give it to you. Is in the town I live in. This is probably giving it away more, but what the hell? Um, Deer meat is something that people still go deer hunting down here, and they're donating the deer meat, the leftover deer meat that basically the hunters, they don't have any room in their fridges. They're going to give that deer meat to the local homeless shelter. Feel as you want to about that. I think that's a kind of a maybe a bit of lip service, but I think it's an extended part of tribalism to try to take care of things. Now, of course, the more negative aspect, but I think it's a very important issue with tribalism is being weary of outsiders, being very weary of it, because there's a reason why. You know, it's I'm not going to get into anti-Semitism, this and that. We're going to step away from that. We don't need to talk about that. But I would say that It's the same type of thing with carpetbaggers, right? Carpetbaggers coming down south after the South was destroyed, you know, gave phony baloney, you know, reasons, to try to make money, this and that, right? Or, whatever sort of thing, or even people within that community who, get famous and get money, and it turns out that it's a Ponzi scheme. That also happened. And so that there are ways to protect the tribe from these things. I mean, to me, tribalism is normal, and it does not, like I say, I will say this. I want to clarify. Now, I know people are gonna be like, "You're just trying to hide something." Probably so, but you know what? I don't give a fuck. Tribalism does not have to be based on race necessarily or blood. It can be based on just living in a neighborhood, right? This was the original idea of a lot of mobs, was used to protect the neighborhood. Now, of course, then it became about making money, and it became about, you know, profiting for a few, gabagools, this and that, right? That's the whole idea of it. But in the beginning, it was about, the same thing with the gangs, right? It was used to, for a community, religion, exactly. Yep, or religion. Yep. Whether it's Catholic, the different forms of Catholicism, whether it's Irish Catholicism, or they don't even call it Italian Catholicism because it's like it's just Catholicism. But yeah, would be sports. Yep, exactly. Sports is another one. Yep, hockey. You know, um, definitely like boxing to a point. MMA. Although that's more, but maybe there's family styles as well. Martial arts. You know, Hunga, for example. It literally means hung family style kung fu, basically, or martial arts. I'll put it that way. Kung fu means skill developed over time. So Mosuk. I'll use the proper term. Mosuk meaning martial arts in Cantonese, or Wushu meaning martial art, more critically. You know, and no, I don't have a degree in anything, and no, I'm not that. But whatever. Same with Orthodox Christianity as well. Orthodox Christianity, keep a small group of people around you. And you realize, like I say, as you get older, if you don't have a tribe, you're just a drifter, you know? And I say that saying that, yeah, I do have a mom and dad, and I do roughly do have a family, although I haven't seen them for decades, because I live down in Texas. I don't have enough money to go up to Washington State. But that's my excuse. I think that, you know, tribalism is seen as something bad from outsiders. And, how's it going, Wicked Energy? And that's what the internet has become. It's a way of being a tribe, right? It's like right wing Twitter. If someone gets kicked off, they're like, "Hey, help me find my friends," and then somebody retweets it, and within a day they'll have 2,000 followers because they know about somebody, or they'll say enough stuff where you'll be like, "Oh, okay, cool." So it's one of those types of things. Now, like I say, is that still real tribalism? Not really. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong inherently with tribalism, and I think that a lot of people they kind of talk out of both sides of their mouth. Well, they'll say tribalism is bad for these people, but it's okay for these people because it doesn't get as bad. It's like it's like we know, for example, in the 1970s in China, there were some African students who went to a local Chinese college, and they accused them of hitting on their women, this and that Chinese women, and they smacked up these African students. That's a fairly big thing, but it's one of those ideas of tribalism. You know, now is everything perfect in China? No. Are there plenty of disagreements between? Do you think that all Hans get along? No, absolutely not, because it's more of a race thing. It's the same thing. Do all white people get along? Hell no. Hell no. That's why it comes down to Hatfields and McCoys, right? Yeah, yeah. In group preferences, yeah, in group preferences are pretty normal. Absolutely. So I mean, this is why I want to make sure it's not about race. It's about blood. It's not even necessarily about blood, but it's about, that's my cousin, this and that. He may be a retard, but only I can call him a retard. That sort of thing, right? That sort of idea. Or yeah, he's kind of screwed up for what he did. He shouldn't have done that, but that's my cousin, or that's my brother, or that's my sister, or whatever, right? I'll take care of it, but that's my family, you know? And I think people inherently, even in this day and age, realize that. It's like, oh, that's your sister? Okay, I'll let you take care of it. That's your brother? Okay, you take care of that. At least most decent people should, where they have a respect for, taking care of things within the family, right? And I think that's what people are trying to do in some ways. But yeah, I bullied my brother into losing weight, 80 pounds or so. Well done. Well done. I need to bully myself into losing weight. I need to. I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, oh man. Whew. But yeah, you know, tribalism is a valuable thing. Like I say, I mean, there are plenty of hierarchy charts I'm sure you could do, but I don't operate that way. I see it more as I take it from the gut. I take it from the gut, and I take it more from a this person seems to know. All right, I'll take that lead. And I'll find my place. Everybody has their role to play. A lot of people may regret it, but in time, everybody accepts it for the most part. There are obviously outliers to everything, but that's my opinion. That's my take on it. I think that's all I really got. You know, of course, people are going to say that. I'm sure that they'll say that there's more holes than Swiss cheese in these sort of things. Yeah, I debated a lefty a while back and had to explain to them that every socialist country became integrist. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's true. Yep, that's true. I mean, every socialist country they had to bring up the history of their country and not completely destroy it or try to undermine their history. They're not going to do that. The Soviet Union, when Germany and the rest of the powers invaded Russia, the Orthodox Church was given a little bit more leeway. It was still fully under control of Stalin, absolutely, but they were given more leeway. Russian folk heroes were starting to come back. You know, plenty of reason for that, right? Same thing in Vietnam. They talk about socialism, I'm sure, plenty, but they also brought up some more ancient Vietnamese type of things. China, like I said, China brought back Sun Tzu. They didn't shame Sun Tzu or try to destroy everything about it. And yeah, even like I say, during the Cultural Revolution, yeah, they destroyed many Buddhist, temples, this and that. Ultimately though, now that arguably Chinese Buddhism is under the CC or the CPC's control, it's a different type of thing. But like I say, in general, they're not going to, shame their history, this and that. No, no, no. They use their history to bring things together. Same thing with even the German Democratic Republic. The German Democratic Republic, obviously, you know, shamed a lot of the fascist elements that were adopted, by the Nazis, but they accepted some other things that they could and, try to do it that way. So, I mean, it's a delicate balancing act. But yeah, these countries absolutely had to do that. And they had to be interested in their history to try to create nationalism. Now, to me, I mean, like I said, nationalism bleeds into tribalism, bleeds into the family. Because to me, those are interconnected, like a chain. You can't have a strong community and ignore or completely ignore certain aspects within it. Takes a village. It does. Yeah, religion influencing the state, based the state influencing religion, spiritual crisis. No, I agree. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And you can, and the same thing, I believe. Correct me where I'm wrong, Temujin, but being Shia Muslim, that's a minority within the Islamic world. So it's a very different thing. Now, of course, there's plenty of, you know what? I'm already thinking, so I'm going to stop right there. But yeah, just know that I know that there is a big difference between Sunni Islam and Shia Islam, and I'm going to keep it there because that I feel like I'm going to embarrass myself further. Same thing with Christianity. Religion has a way to bring people together. You know, the reason there one of the biggest reasons why people don't like the Catholic Church is because the Catholic Church, uh, to a point, is a business. For like I say, for example, here's another reason, bit of obstacle here that I should look for, but I'll go ahead and say it nonetheless. Is they were talking to the diocese to say we need to keep this school up, because this is a landmark and the has differences within it as well. I figured. Yeah, I figured. I wanted to be careful about it because I feel like, oh, I don't know enough about that, so I'm going to keep that to myself. But yeah, what in the world? I don't know if y'all heard that woohoo, but somebody did. All right, whatever. Um, but yeah. Anyway, the Catholic Church, and the diocese, the local diocese, said basically, yeah, tear it down. And so this was next to a Catholic church, and the school's now taken down. It's a complete empty lot now. And so, and like I said, religion, obviously has to obey the rules of, this country. And I know people are going to say, oh, what about the evangelicals that make all this money and they don't get taxed for it because it's religion, the atheist sort of stuff. But it's like, I don't know. There was a time when without the church, a lot of people would be, homeless just now. I don't know. I think it's a very delicate thing. And you could see I'm kind of, yeah, yeah, exactly. Just not a full blown theocracy, though. Yeah. Obviously, this country, yeah, Twelvers, Ismailis, Zaidis. Twelvers are split between Usulis and Akbaris. Ismailis are basically all Nizaris. Zaidis have been kind of consistent. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of the Twelvers, this and that. I'm not, yeah, I think I may have heard of Ismailis and Zaidis, but I can't really say. So I'm gonna. That's very interesting, though. Yeah, I know it's a complex thing. I know he's still wet. Did you get hand him to Dan? Can't, all right. Well, may have to wrap this up. I have to re-dry a dog after he took a bath while I was taking a bath. So that's an example of tribalism as well. We don't take these animals to vets and whatnot because we don't have the money to. So we try to take care of them and do all that. So there's another form, but that is genuinely interesting though about Shia Islam. I know that, like I say, it's a very complex thing, and I've already got two toes in my mouth by talking about Islam, so I'm going to stop right there. I have to be very careful. Same thing with Christianity to a point. I don't know all the aspects of Christianity, so I myself try to keep my distance. I try to be careful about that. You know. But yeah. Anyway, I'm making this more awkward than I am. I hope y'all enjoyed this stream that I did for all the 7 people that are in here. Much the same way as the nation of gods and earths believed in the or excuse me, no, I'm sorry. It's the 12 jewels, isn't it? Yeah, it's 12 jewels. Yeah, theologically, I'm closest to Zaidi. 12ers have a lot of gulat exaggeration on the imams. Okay. Oh, okay, really? Yeah. Like I said, I know it's a complicated thing. Um, I gotta be I'm gonna be careful. Yeah. You as well, American dissident. You as well. I hope you're doing okay. Timujan, I do appreciate learning more about Shia Islam. Um, I should, you know, read more about it and try to understand it because obviously it's something that I think Americans know nothing about. Americans barely know the difference between, Catholics and Protestants. So it's a whole other thing to look at, the differences between, the Twelvers, Ismailis, Zaidis within Shia Islam, you know. But yeah, I'm going to keep it there. I hope y'all enjoyed that. See you later. Goodbye.